Today's video is brought to you by AG1. It might be a new year, but I'm still doing my same AG1, taking it every day just like you should. But I did change it up a little bit. I was using the bags like you see here, but now I'm always on the go so much and we're running around a lot. I don't have time to mix it sometimes and use the bottle and everything and then put it back and I lose it and all kinds of other stuff happens. So because I'm in a rush, we got these quick travel packs. Right here, mix them in any bottle you got. Take your water, 8 to 12 ounces, mix it up in this guy right here. Have yourself a fresh AG1 drink in the morning, quickly and efficiently. Oh, got a little spillage there. Always give it a good shake. Get this stuff mixed in your water real well. That way you can drink it up. Not too thick, it's perfect. Just what I need in the morning. As you all already know, AG1 keeps all the supplements you need, all your vitamins you need throughout the day, so you can feel replenished and healthy throughout the whole day. Know that you're living a healthy lifestyle. I love it. There's no getting around it. At my age, starting to stay active outside all day long can be a little tough. So having this stuff to pick you up and know that what you're doing is healthy for your body keeps me going and keep me in the right direction. Don't miss out. Use the link in the description below or scan the QR code to subscribe and you'll be able to save $20 off your first subscription to AG1. Keep it up, guys. Stay healthy and enjoy the rest of the video today. Welcome back to the JH channel and welcome back to the new year. Obviously, you guys remember the New Year's party went on pretty good without a hitch. I'll be honest, been slacking a little bit. It's about a week later and a little over a week, and we have not cleaned up much of anything back here. The day after, we had a couple friends in town. We said, well, we'll go ride side by side, do some fun stuff. So that kind of put the backyard on hold, which y'all remember old girl. We don't know what's going on there yet. We got mowers. There's Cleet's mower. There's our mower, another one of our mowers, and then another mower back there. Broken tie rod on the race mower, it's sitting back there. And all the other ones are just blown belts. So we're gonna do some revamping, do some rethinking, get back to the drawing board, and maybe get different mowers with different transmissions so we don't blow as many belts. I did run the grader around the track the other week, just kind of smooth it back out, because obviously after I had a little bit of fun in the JH Diesel 6.0, it was a little tore up.
Turn the radio off. I'll get it back.
So we got to get back to, got to get this place cleaned up a little bit. So first things first. What do you mean? Grass is perfect, dude. Well, I might have done a little burnout over there and pushed some stuff over. We'll see. So we drained our water tank on this thing, and we don't know yet if the engine's hurt or not. You think it's hurt?
There's only one way to find out.
Well, we got the cables on it. I've been charging it up because it's literally been sitting here. The battery was so dead I couldn't even roll the windows up. That's how bad it was. If we blew up another engine, I wouldn't be surprised. Neither would you guys. Yeah. Something ain't sounding right. Got a dead miss. I think we got something going on. Yeah. time it misses. So that's engine number 2 in the past month. So that's okay though. This was another stock engine, and so I actually have a spare for this truck. But what I want to do is I want to check the compression on it. We could very well have a cylinder head problem. This truck's actually given us problems in the past, where after a burnout, it's like it runs real rough and crappy. It almost knocks, and then it goes away. Like maybe something crazy enough, valve seat, something like that could be coming loose in the cylinder head. I don't know. Probably gonna pull it in, we'll check compression on it, figure out what cylinder is bad. Once we figure out what cylinder is down on compression or whatever it's doing, we'll pull the glow plug and do a compression test and see how hurt it is. And if it is hurt, if that is the problem, it might not be the issue. It might be something else as simple as a valve, or I don't think so because the blow by, but you never know. So we'll get it pulled in the shop, start checking it out, and kind of going from there and see if we got to put another motor in the burnout truck. But this one's lasted the longest. This thing's been there since, I think we've done about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 burnout competitions with it, and then all kinds of other dumb stuff. We did the cheap truck challenge with the guys at our poor diesel challenge, and did the burnout there, drag raced it, did a little bit of everything with it. So we'll pull it in, check compression, figure out what cylinder, play it by ear and go spin. See if we can make her survive.
All right, we got the burnout truck over here to my shop. Got the battery charger hooked up to it. Get some voltage in the batteries because the batteries were pretty low. I'm gonna go ahead and get the scanner, scan it, see which cylinder is low on compression, do a pinpoint test on that, and we'll pull the glow plugs out and confirm that that's the problem. But for now, let's get the scanner hooked up to this thing, see what we got going on. So went ahead and ran it and did another diagnostic test, and you see cylinder 4 contribution came back up. So I would say cylinder 4 is where the problem's gonna be. So we'll do another test and a pinpoint test and check it. And once we know for sure, which I'm pretty sure, but once we know for sure, we'll go ahead and do a compression test on cylinder 4 and see what we got. All right, so we finally got it working. We'll go ahead and do it again, but so cylinder 4 and cylinder 5, 8%, 15%. All right, so let's do this test one more time. All right, so I went ahead and removed the glow plug harness, and I pulled one of the glow plugs. I'm gonna go ahead and go through here and pull the rest of them. We'll check this whole side because this side's a little easier to check than the other side. And it said 4 and 5, so number 4 is the second one on the other side. And then you've got this one on this side is number 5. And I would say the number 5 cylinder seemed a little worse than the number 4, so we'll go ahead and check it and see what we got and go from there. But we'll do a compression test on this whole side. All right, go ahead, let's see what we got. A little bit more. All right, so I'd say about 375, 390, something like that on that one. Let's move. That's the far back one. Let's see. All right, go ahead. All right. Keep going. That cylinder shows about 325, 330. Remember, our first cylinder showed 395, which was cylinder number 7. Number 5, which on the computer showed number 5 was about 15% low, it showed 350. Now number 3 It's showing about 330. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let it hit 5 compression strokes. But, 6. We're about 345. All right, go 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so we are dead the same. About 340, 345. Nope. Nah, 2's good.
So I just got back from the machine shop. Justin's been hustling on this thing, checking compression. He checked the passenger side, which was throwing cylinder number 5. And so check that. 4 and 5. So what we're gonna do now is pull apart the driver's side. Well, he just pulled it apart. We're gonna check the driver's side. So I don't see anything too concerning on the passenger side. Been doing this for about 15 years now on my own in the shop. And I can tell you, we've had plenty of trucks between 300 and 350 pounds. It seems like a big variance, but they run perfectly fine. So I don't see any issues yet with the passenger side. Cylinder 4 is probably gonna be our telltale, because it could mean that the relative compression is different on cylinder 5 because it's making up for 4. Seen weird stuff like that happen. Those relative compression tests on the computer are simply in my opinion, a guideline or a sales tactic. Those things, a lot of guys use them at the dealerships. They're like, oh, you're down 15%, you need a motor. I used to have that happen a lot back in the day. I don't see it as much anymore. I used to have customers come in all the time and they'd say, hey, they're saying my cylinder's down. Okay, I'll scan it. It's 10%. Do you want us to do a compression test? No. Does the truck run fine? Yes. We dealt with that a lot in the earlier days of Ford. I haven't seen it much lately, but guys would literally sell engines based off that relative compression test. I'm a firm believer in you never know the actual compression until you put a gauge in it. You mechanically turn that thing over and see what it is pushing for compression. So he's got that thing in there now, and we're gonna do the driver's side, and we'll see what the driver's side pulls for compression. What cylinder you got on?
Cylinder number 2.
Number 2? All right, so here.
Let's see what we got here. 300. That's the lowest one yet.
Let's go to number 4. Cylinder 4.
Cylinder number 4. Let's see what we got.
Oh boy. See, that's our problem?
That's 0, bud. Made no compression.
What do you mean it made no compression? What do you mean? You sure you got screwed in the wrong way?
0.
What do you mean it made no compression?
I'll tell you, I kind of questioned it when I seen that. I said, I wonder if I did something wrong.
Like it didn't move at all?
None.
It's kind of weird. Hit her again.
Try it again.
You know, I'd have to say that's our problem. Really, there's no reason. We're still going to do the rest of the cylinders. I think it's smart to do all the cylinders anytime you do something like this, because what we might do is just yank this thing out, pop the piston out, check the cylinder out. If we can hone it out, put a fresh piston in there and rings, or maybe it broke a ring, maybe it cracked the piston. As long as the cylinder wall is good, hone her out and put her back together. I can promise you, I have taken 6 liters that were locked up solid. Cylinders were rusted in the mega truck. Cleaned it up, drove that thing for 2 years on the street, and then the mud truck for a year. So these 6.0s, they can be ran hard. So we'll check the other 2 cylinders, see what they're pushing out, and then we'll assess from there. Cylinder 6.
Let's see. About 315 like the other one.
I think we found our problem, but we just always check them over because we're going to write them all down, and then we know exactly what every cylinder had. Last one, cylinder 8.
Yeah, it made 300. 350. 300. Yeah, it was a little early. It would have went up a little more.
All right, cylinder 4 is coming out. So we did a little more due diligence and popped the driver's side fuel rail off, oil rail off, and valve cover and everything else, just to see if maybe we had a bad rocker arm. I was pretty much knowing that we didn't, because of how much blow-by is coming out of the dipstick or coming out of the oil fill, and it's poofing just right there. So I pretty much already knew it didn't, but I said, you know what, let's just do it, make us feel a little bit better. At least then we know if there was something stupid, we found it. Unfortunately, rockers are all there. Everything is good. So it is in the cylinder. We double check the compression again, never moves. Hoping it's something simple and the cylinder wall is still good, because if it is, I could probably just pop a piston and a set of rings in there and then put this thing back on the burnout pad. Well, it's time for this guy to come out of here. Made the executive decision over the weekend. Let's get this engine pulled out and put it on the ground, get it tore down, and see what is going on. We think, I think it's something to do, obviously, maybe with the head, but it could be a piston issue also. I don't think it's major as of right now. I hope I'm right, and hopefully we can just maybe fix whatever's wrong and put it back together. We'll see. So, get this thing out, get it going, and get on the ground, see what we can do.
Yeah, we don't need this where we're going.
We don't need it where we're going. It looks like just about everything is disconnected from this thing. The engine is disconnected from the transmission, the torque converter. You guys have seen us pull these engines before. Now this time we are not pulling the cab. Normally we would pull the cab on these trucks. We didn't pull the cab because this truck is so different. It has so many different things on it with the cooling system and the air to water and all that stuff. It's a little different situation. There's a lot less stuff on this truck. So it's kind of like, you know, one way or the other, it doesn't really matter. We can set this thing on our engine stand and be able to work on it just fine without having to work on it in the frame. Didn't need to tie up a lift for it. So, getting ready to yank this thing out of here, get it up in the air, and get it on our stand, and hopefully figure out what happened to cylinder number 4. No. Sorry. All right. Trans, converters, still in the trans, right?
Yeah, it should be. Make sure. It's got the, hold on. The train's just jacked to lift it way up with it. You gotta come up. Looks like it's gonna be fine. A little bit more. Just take it out. Yep. A little bit more. Oh, you know what it is.
I'm getting way too tired of seeing this situation right here. See this situation? This is not good, and we're about to see it a lot more around here.
truth.
Moment of truth, guys. Please don't be melted. Oh, in my foot. Ugh. Well, she's cooked.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh, you hurt the cylinder, though.
it hit a little bit.
Did it?
I feel a little bit in there, but I think it's salvageable. That's awesome. So what I really need to do is also have that injector tested. Make sure that injector's not...
Well, that is the injector that we replaced before. That was one we had a problem with before.
Maybe I'll just pull them, send them out, have them checked out, and go from there. So, she melted the piston a little bit. But take a look. Like I said, the cylinder feels... It's definitely scored up. I don't know if a hone will do that, or...
Yeah, but where this thing's going,
Yeah, I mean, this thing.
it's worth putting a piston in it.
I think so. I think it would be okay for a while. As long as everything else checks out good, which I'm sure it will, we'll just slap a piston in her and get her back to doing burnouts. This is that's why I wanted to tear this thing down. We're about to get back on the big truck. I figure we'll tear this thing down. This is going to be quick. Take her out, put her right back in, and hopefully have a burnout truck here in the next couple weeks, along with a mud truck in the next couple weeks, and a drag truck in the next couple weeks, and our 78 run in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Broke everything over the winter time. A lot of people, they don't break their stuff over the winter time. I decided to break everything over the winter time.
Well, it all just healed up from being all broken over the summertime. So
It's true. I don't want to, we want to, So while we got this thing apart, we'll probably pop the other head off just because it's apart. It's only a few extra hours of work as far as disassembly and reassembly. And we'll check the heads over, and then probably just, hopefully if the pistons are good, maybe I'll look into a different set of pistons for it that are good for heat and whatnot. I don't know. Let me see what I can come up with in the next couple weeks. I don't want this thing down for long. I want it right back in and right back together. That's the joy of these stock engines, is I think they can take quite a bit of abuse and we can get them right back out in the burnout pad. So we'll grab our hone and we'll hone it a little bit and see if we like what this thing's starting to do. And then if we do, then we'll rip that piston out, hone the whole cylinder properly, and go from there.
we got
Little stone tool. Fit this thing in here on the bit. You can actually adjust your tension right there. I think we've got it set up pretty good for this, so kind of go in and out motion. You don't have to go super fast with it. Now we're obviously doing this with the piston in there. You should not do that. So I'm doing this just to see how good we can clean this cylinder up. She's coming along perfectly fine.
Done that to a couple motors that were froze up. Ran good as new after that.
Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
You just run the pistons all the way down, do them one at a time. Reset the rings. New crosshatch.
Cleaning right up. And then worst case, if we gotta stick our dingleberry hone in there, we can. So this is, one style hone. Out there, show you all a dingleberry hone. I'm sure some of you guys know what they are.
And we'll wipe this out and you can see the progress that's kind of being made in there. You see it's cutting all the crosshatches back in it.
Now, this is a 3 3/4. No, a little small. So we also, I keep 4 here. Mainly they all fit the common edges that we work on. This one's a 4-inch.
That's gonna be your girl there.
That's the one, huh?
I'd say that's your
So
girl.
I think the dingleberry hones are a little more aggressive than those. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm sure somebody will comment and tell us.
Oh, for sure.
She's coming along just fine. So at this point, we'll get the piston out and get everything else tore down, start honing this thing properly. Like I said, I'm just trying to get in the feel of it, and I'm already getting the big grooves out, so it's gonna be just fine. We'll get us a new piston and ring in there. I might put a set of pistons in it if it's easy enough to get them, and I can get a higher temp piston, something that's not gonna do this again. I'm gonna see what that's gonna take. So I'm gonna talk to a couple guys, see what I can get. If I can, I'll grab a good set of pistons, so we should never have to worry about it. And at the power level we're at, other than that, man, everything looks perfectly fine. All the other pistons so far look good. I see no issues, so.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the air temps down on it. We've really handled all that. So if we can get a good set of pistons in it where it doesn't melt pistons.
And I'm almost wondering if this is like an injector problem. I don't know.
I think it is. Like I said, that's the same injector we replaced before. So it may have had this problem for a while.
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, we're going to get that thing swapped out. And next time you see it, we'll hopefully be putting this thing back together.